Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, if there is any. I mean, a little Wendy Williams, a little Kim Zolciak. Jeff Lewis Live, and of course, anything else you want to chat about. I hope you're having a great day. I started off kind of chilly, and then it's getting warm already. So within an hour and a half of me waking up, putting sweatpants on, and my friend's hoodie that I love so much, I quickly had to switch into a t-shirt. So anyways, I hate those kind of days because now I feel like I'm just clammy the rest of the day. Like I was just cold and then hot, just ugh. Thank you so much for reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up button. I really, really appreciate it. If towards the end, if you want to come on YouTube and chat or ask a question, give your comments, hit in the banner right here, the StreamYard.com link. And I always put it up at the beginning of the comments also. So thank you. Still see it showing 0. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. It's snowing, but wait, how does that? Okay, I guess y'all consider freezing temperatures warm. I was like, Shanda says, hello from Alberta, Canada. It's snowing, but warm. I'm like, snowing, but warm. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, okay. Debbie's on from Toronto. Let me say it right. Toronto, Canada. Is that right? Toronto, not Toronto. It is really hard not to. Oh, woo! That is okay. I will not complain because we're like sunny and warm now. My daughter and her 4 friends from college are at the beach right now having a blast. We're going to barbecue tonight. They're going to sit in the hot tub. We're heating the pool up for them. Shanda says it's -4 today, but it's been above 0 all week. Wow, I can't even imagine. Like I would die. Oh, that's so weird. Michael Raleigh says, I'm hitting the thumbs up button, but I'm only seeing 0 count, so it's not taking it. Oh, that's weird. Anyways, come on, YouTube, get your shows together, right? Yes, Raquel's already chatting Jeff Lewis Live. Today's show with Joey McIntyre was good. Yes, I think it was really good. And he lives in Hancock Park, so there's no reason he can't become a regular chump. Well, other than that, he's going to be on this crazy solo tour all of April, and then in June or July, whenever he said they start the New Kids on the Block residency in Las Vegas. So other than that, and like being a husband and raising 3 children, other than that, he's got all the time in the world, right? Anyways, okay. Well, let us know. We are going to chat Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 14, episode 15. I didn't get all the way through Watch What Happens Live last night or this morning. I was watching it today. But if you follow me on Instagram, you saw. So I was late to the gym. So I love doing potty pump, but I offered to take my daughter and all of her friends and drop them off at the rodeo instead of having them park. Because, it's just a pain. It really is. But we found out it's more of a pain to drop off and pick up because they still had to walk all the way to my car. You can't get on the premises of NRG Stadium. So it's all blocked off and it's all kind of designed for all these massive buses to take the people back to their cars at these paid parking lots that they've parked at. So anyways, it was kind of a hassle. When she goes later this week, they're just going to drive and park like they always do. But anyways, it was fun because I got to people watch as I was waiting. I got to see all the outfits. I mean, all the black leather. There was such perfect weather last night. If you live, well, I guess if you live up north, you're always getting cold weather for spring break, right? But for our spring break, it's always in March and we never know what we're going to get. Is it going to be super hot? Is it going to be cold? Is it going to be windy? Is it going to be rainy? So we tend to just go away for spring break. If we want cold weather, we go up, north to the cold weather, what's that place we like now? I think we've been there once or twice for spring break. Salt Lake City? What's the other place? It's 2 words. Anyways, whatever that place is. Or we go down south, so we get some warm weather. But anyways, they got the most perfect weather, but I got to see the leather outfits, the cowboy boots, the cowboy hats, the hot pink, tops with the black pants. I mean, everyone really dresses up for the rodeo. So it was really fun to see. Oh, I love that. Tracy says, in my next life, I will be a cowgirl. I mean, truly, I wouldn't say people wear cowgirl and cowboy hats or boots all the time in Houston because we don't, but they do really dress up for the rodeo. And I always bought my kids, yes, Park City. Thank you, Dory. I love Park City because it's such a quick drive from the airport. Love, love, love Park City, Utah for vacation. Anyways, but yeah, people always dress up. I always made sure my kids had, boots, the little cowboy shirts, the cowgirl outfits. So cute. So, it was fun to watch everybody. And they had a blast. I forgot who it was. I don't know whoever it is, they think he's cute, whoever the singer was, but I don't even know. But it was fun. But because of that, I didn't get home till like 11 o'clock at night because I had to leave late and go pick them up. So it wasn't that, I was out partying or doing anything. But for me now, staying up 11 is late. And I was so tired today. I cannot wait to go to bed tonight. Yeah, I think being a real cowboy, trust me, nowhere around me are real cowboys. Southern Belle Cell says, I suspect being a cowboy would be hard work. Yeah, like really wrangling a ranch or, that type of thing, feeding the animals, especially in the winter, They could have Ubered or Lyfted, but I didn't want them. They didn't want to they don't like the strangers of an Uber or Lyft. And plus it would have been, about 40 to 50 minutes ended up the traffic we were in waiting. So they would have just been sitting in the Uber. It was 6 of them. I don't even think most Ubers would have fit all of them. It was 6 girls. We filled up my car. We filled up my Suburban. So anyways, we don't live that far. I was happy to take them. But like I said, next time they will they're only 19 years old. So if they don't have to Uber or Lyft, we don't want them to have to. Then they can feel comfortable with me in the car. They can talk how they want to talk and not be with some stranger Uber guy or girl. So anyways, Lisa, you're amazing. She's number 39 on the likes table. She's going to jump back over to TikTok to tap the screen. Thank you so much. I thank you for tapping the screen. It does let other people know that we are on and to watch. So anyways, and if you want to get in the conversation, then come back over to YouTube. Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, that sounds good. Tracy says, I don't want the cowboy work. I just want to wear the outfits and listen to George Strait. Yeah, for sure. Yes, we will definitely talk about it. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on the Mauricio and Kyle divorce or separation and the Kyle and Dorit divorce separation, whatever's going on. Samantha says, on Watch What Happens Live, why did Dorit keep saying that the divorce will be up to PK? Can't she just use her own words and say yes or no on the divorce? I know. It was like that on the show. Also, remember when they had the dinner at Drake's Hollywood. Okay, so let's dive into I was going to tell you earlier because I'm just loving watching Flipping Out. So a few weeks ago, somehow I stumbled on Flipping Out being on Netflix. It's only season 6, 7, and 8. Some for free. Somebody, or pay for your Netflix, but somebody did tell me on YouTube TV you can watch all of the Flipping Out episodes, all seasons, 10 of them, 10 seasons. I get 10 or 11 seasons of that on YouTube TV. So I don't know, I haven't tried it, but it was so good. What is he really though? Kylo says, oh my God, Sarah, did you hear Big Mouth Kelly Dodd speaking about Chef Stu getting married to a woman for a green card? She's so rude to get that info, to out that info. I have no idea on any of that. And I don't know, he's been here so long. Can you be here like 10, 20 years and not have a green card already? Like, I don't even know if she's talking out of her ass. I forget what year he moved here from Ireland, but he's been here a long time and clearly works. So I don't know that he doesn't have a green card. I've never thought to ask him. I don't know. I never thought to ask him. Oh, okay. Southern Belle sells live channel on Roku shows Flipping Out for your information. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I can definitely ask him. Debbie says, "Oh, was Chef Stu really married to a woman? That sounds like a lie." I honestly have no idea. I don't think I've ever heard that, and I don't know. I guess it's public record if you've been married, so somebody could look that up somehow for sure. I don't know. Who is Kelly Dodd to judge other people, though? Let's be clear. Okay, back to flipping out. So, as you know, yesterday I got to the gym late because there was so much traffic dropping my daughter and them off at the rodeo. So I missed body pump, which I love, but I just found a treadmill instead. I was like, oh, if I'm going to be on the treadmill, then I can watch me some flipping out. So I turned it on, season 6. I think it was like episode 3 and 4. It's where he's already with Gage. Obviously, it's season 6. They're showing him. They're doing Gramercy. Jenny is still his assistant. Her and Jeff have a great relationship. She's planning her huge Greek wedding to Jonathan in Chicago. On this particular episode that I watched, she invites Jeff to come to Chicago to like guide her a little bit on some of the decisions that need to be made. And then Andrew Coleman comes with them. I mean, it was just so funny. But then they get back to LA and they're buying costumes for something. I think they're just being funny. They're buying birthday presents for Zoila. Anyways, they come across these like ski masks, like robbers in the old days would wear. And so they're like, let's buy one and drive around LA. So they're driving around LA and they're stopping to ask people. Jenny is asking people with the ski mask on, just shows her eyes, her mouth, her lips. And she's like, hey, do you know where the nearest 7-Eleven is? And they're like, oh yeah, right up the corner. Da, da, da. And they're like, oh, there's a bank on the corner too, if you want to rob that. I was dying. I mean, it makes me so happy. I know it's unpopular. I love Jeff and Jenny together. They were so fun, like way more than Megan. I figure by the time he met Megan was already going through a divorce and had 2 little kids. So, just very different. I mean, Jenny didn't have any kids yet. I mean, she was already going through a divorce, getting married for the second time, just a little more willy-nilly. You know what I mean? But remember them doing stuff like they would find somebody asleep at the airport and they'd run up and lay beside them and take a picture. Or if somebody was sleeping in the park, or a houseless, is that what it's called? Whatever we can say now, homeless, houseless, unhoused, is that what we say? Whatever we say now. A person that has no home to live in, and they would run up and take a picture. I mean, they just had fun. You know what I mean? They just had fun. He doesn't need to be dotted. Yeah, Michael Riley just asked Stu. Okay, so let us know. Toothless and homeless, exactly. I don't know. And maybe he did. Maybe people do that. Maybe he had an agreement with some girl. I have no idea. Anyways, but check out Flipping Out. It really makes me so happy since we know Jeff is not going to be on TV for quite a while. It also reminded me though that Zoila I haven't watched it yet, but she's going to be a bridesmaid in Jenny's wedding. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, that tells you how close they all were. I mean, I know it's kind of a TV show also, but Zoila really is an integral part of Jeff's life and clearly Jenny's at the time. Gage is so intense though. He's very I see him then. At that time, he was, I don't know, probably 23, 25 years old. He was very young. This is before they'd had Monroe. He's very tight. I mean, he's just a tightly wound person and no affection ever. I mean, did we ever? I can't think. I mean, not that Jeff is super touchy-feely in public anyways. Stu's a citizen. Stu said he's a citizen. Oh, you know what? He's talked about taking that test. He talked about that on Jeff Lewis Live, I figure. Thank you, Heather. She's like, please remember to hit the thumbs up button for our girl. Thank you. I appreciate the reminder. Jordy says, unfortunately, Michael, naturalized citizenship can also be revoked for fraud. Thanks, Kelly Dodd. Who knows? Anyways, I got distracted by all that. Okay. Anyone doing their job with no chef do was gay and had no business marrying any woman. I have no idea what that means, Kathy B. I think you've got some typos in there. Sometimes I can figure out y'all's typos and sometimes I can't. You know what I mean? Okay, let's get into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Then we will jump over to all of Jeff Lewis Live today. It opens up with just the two sides of this show. Again, I've said it. Every reality or every housewife show are like divided. They've got like the girl gangs, right? So this one is Dorit and Bose and Erica against Garcelle and Sutton. And then Kyle's over there on an island, feeling sorry for herself, but also going on lots of trips with Morgan Wade, but yet still wants to milk the whole woe is me, thing. Okay. Apples and oranges. Erica is talking about how Sutton and everyone else was so rude to her when she was like mixing antidepressants with alcohol and having like a rough season or two right after this all came out about the lawsuits, the Tom separation, the divorce, the fraud, all of that. It's really apples and oranges, though. I mean, the fact that Dorit is coming at Sutton and basically accusing her of waking up and putting vodka in her coffee, which to me implies that she's got an alcohol problem if you need alcohol that early in the morning, for no reason. I mean, I think Erica later admitted that she was mixing prescription medicine with alcohol, and she realized, wait a minute, I can't do that. So her behavior was way different. So the fact that she wants to be like, oh, don't forget, they did this to me and it was terrible. I'm like, it's a little, sorry, it's really hot in the closet. That was really different. I mean, do y'all see that as being different or very, thank you, Mike O'Reilly. Get them people liking. 48 likes and 148 watching. Yes. Michael says, Kelly has said the worst about Stu sucking up to Jeff. Oh, yeah, but she was friendly with him when they were together. You know what I mean? Like, I know. Exactly. Debbie says, why aren't Kyle's trips with Morgan on the show? Well, they were 1 or 2 seasons ago, right? Morgan was on the show to get her publicity, right? I can't tell if she's really with her or not. Well, nobody can. I mean, I don't think Kyle can figure out if she's a lesbian or not, or if she's faking it. If they're just friends, you don't act like that. I mean, just friends don't travel as much as they do together, especially when you still have, at the time, a 15-year-old daughter at home and now a 16-year-old daughter. I mean, she acts like woe is me this whole episode, even after her and Mauricio chat over coffee or whatever it was, and kind of bring up the whole awkward, paparazzi catching him kissing, what have you. She's still just like, woe is me. And I'm like, there's no woe is you brought this on, or you were okay with it. I mean, I really feel it was something she wanted also. But now this whole season is woe is me. Feel sorry, like the big pity party of Kyle Richards. Jen Helen says Garcelle seemed concerned about Erica, though said it to her face. Dorit is just mean about it. Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, they weren't all nice, but to me, Erica's actions and words were way worse. I mean, she was really going through a rough moment. I mean, Sutton has never done anything to make me think she has a drinking problem at all. If anything, I mean, Dorit is at a dinner, what seems to be a very short dinner. They have a salad and go on their merry way at Drake's just to show that we're at Drake's so we can get that free meal. And, her husband, who's clearly sober from being an admitted alcoholic, and she's still ordering a cocktail. I'm like, you can't go one night without a cocktail. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with Brandy and Julie. Somebody gave me some more information a few weeks ago. I have no idea what's going on with them. The fact that Brandy and Julie say they're not together, then great. The thing is, Kyle really hasn't answered the dang question at all. You know what I mean? But Brandy and Julie are a little bit different because Brandy is married to a man for a very long time. I think like 2007, which is literally almost 20 years now. But somebody gave me some information on them recently, and I'm like, it's 2025. Why wouldn't they just come out? Who knows? Who knows? Yes. Bev says, when Jeff and Jenny got along, the show was so good, but sadly, Jeff had to screw that up. He still hasn't changed his spot. So sad. I mean, I've said it for a couple of years now. You know, my former podcast co-host used to say that Jeff was so different and so much more mature and evolved. And I'm like, I think he's very similar to himself on flipping out. Like, I don't really see, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's really hard to change yourself at like 40, 45, 50, 55 years of age. You know what I mean? It's really hard to change who you are at your core. Yes, I agree. But she seemed different on Watch What Happens Live last night, right? It's been a few months since that aired or filmed probably. Kylo says Dorit is being weird about not divorcing PK. Yeah. I mean, at least, you know, I mean, they weren't married all that long. He's been married and divorced before. You know, he's got grown kids. It's not like she should be, I don't know, not expecting this, but it sounds like they had a terrible marriage for a very long time. She very much dogs him and says he was a terrible husband, a terrible father. You know, I did everything. He would just leave and I had to handle everything. And yet after they leave, she pretty much says, I don't really want the divorce, but I think he does. I'm like, why would you want to be married to that though? It's crazy. Jordy, I don't know. Brandy and Julie practically live together and are together 24/7, traveling, dinners, cozy TV nights. Like, I don't get where her husband comes in. And he's super cute. Somebody sent me a picture of him one time. He's like an actor. He's super cute. Debbie says, I think Brandy and Julie are just friends. I mean, they definitely claim they are, but they also don't, they don't clear it up all the time. They just, a lot of people are very confused because they don't clear it up. Yeah, I thought he did too. Claire said PK's eyes went up, almost like he was rolling his eyes, like, can't you not have a drink in front of me? Because he even joked, oh, let me order a drink. Oh, wait, I can't. I'm recovering. Claire said PK's eyes went up when Dorit ordered her vodka with the lemons drink. He's irritated by her. I mean, Jeff Lewis isn't the only one irritated by Dorit Kimsley, right? Yes, I think so too. Kylo says Kyle is being really strange about not divorcing Mauricio too. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait, what? Lisa says someone saw PK in New York with maybe a new girlfriend while Dorit was on Watch What Happens Live. Oh my gosh. So they were both in New York City, but he was with someone else, right? Well, Sarah says, why should they have to keep clearing it up? I have a close lesbian friend. Don't you think it's way beyond close? I mean, they admittedly, Brandy will rent out her house, like Airbnb it. Why? I don't know. Money, I have no idea. And she says she stays with Julie when she does that. Never mentions her husband. I mean, it's very different to have sleepovers with your best friend when you're married at their ages. They're not, they're not 24 years old. So it's very different than having, they are, Brandy and Julie are way out of the category of being close friends. Like they are way overstepped that boundary, which is fine. Oh, yeah, the nannies that are probably invoicing them wrong so Dorit doesn't pay them. Her office. Anyone think Dorit has a freaking office? Hail to the no, she's got an office. I don't think she has a bathing suit line anymore, a design line, whatever that was called. She ain't got no freaking office. Michael Riley says, who's watching the kids? LOL. Exactly. The freaking kids are raising themselves. Okay. So Kyle is still having the pity party about her and Mauricio. PK and Dorit's dinner was super awkward. I just don't know why she doesn't want a divorce in that moment. I mean, she seems very irritated by him. Doesn't even just joke about it. I mean, she's like, nope, he's a bad husband. He's a bad father. I mean, why would you want to be married to someone like that? Like, there is no turning back for them. I feel like there's no hope for them at all. Like, I would be shocked, especially after Watch What Happens Live last night. She basically gives an update and says things are not good. They're not really communicating. So, but she says divorce has not been talked about because they're just not really communicating. Kyle says Dorit knows she hasn't paid those people. We'll talk about an update that Jeff gave us from Tracy Tudor last night via text. So we'll talk a little bit for sure. Let's see. Debbie says, I don't doubt what you're saying is true, Claire, but if Daddy can be photographed kissing his new girlfriend in the airport, then they should respect their mother is moving on too. Yeah. There's no world that their kids that grew up in LA, grew up on TV, they've been on selling Beverly Hills or whatever it's called, buying Beverly Hills, whatever the show is called, been on Beverly Hills of a House, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I mean, there's no world where they're not going to, love and respect their mom. You know what I mean? Shoes and Makeup Girl says, no, Sarah, they are just friends, Brandy and Julie. They are more than friends. They are family. I would argue they're closer than family. I mean, I don't sleep over at my sister-in-law's house. I don't spend 24/7 with her. But anywho, Kyle doesn't want to split the money. Oh, I think I know she's been divorced before from the father of whatever the other. She got married at like 19. So she's been through a divorce before. I think she's still in that mindset that she just never thought she and Mauricio would divorce. She thought they could just live their separate lives. Him live on the second floor, her living on the first floor. I think the big step was when he moved out. Then it lets people know, whoa, this is way bigger than I thought. Like, he actually got his own apartment now. You know what I mean? And then I'm stuck in this lonely big house with no one. I'm like, oh, except your 16-year-old daughter that you still need to raise. Like, she ain't raising her damn self. You know what I mean? Southern Belle says, I think it's Mauricio that doesn't want to split the money. Yeah. I mean, I wonder how all that works. I mean, clearly it's cheaper to stay together and like live in one household. But as far as splitting the money goes, she might have her own money from acting. I don't know how all that works. I maybe it just all goes in one pot, or maybe they agree to that. I don't know, because she certainly made money and admits that when they first got married, he was not successful at all. And they kind of built this together. So there's no way they're going to come to say that just he earned all of his money and she earned all of her money. I really think they were definitely a duo together for sure. Wait, what? Jordy says Dorit better start a pseudo cabaret singing career unless she wants to launch an OnlyFans. She'll be folding sweaters at the mall. Can you even imagine? I mean, did you see her Chanel dolled up outfit last night on the I mean, she's just, her confessionals, she's just a mess. And then whatever that red thing she was wearing last night, I'm like, I don't know. Okay, Julie says in California, after 10 years, the assets are community property. I mean, unless there's a prenup, right? Sarah says, isn't it 50-50 after 10 years, which is why PK is trying to rush through the divorce before it hits the 10-year mark? No, I think they've already hit the 10-year mark. I think I'd have to look it up when their date is, but I do feel like they hit that already. Heather says Kyle wants Mauricio to continue to pay the bills and deal with the clerical household day-to-day bills, which is, I mean, odd because, he was the breadwinner. But yeah, when you divorce, things change. And, I don't know if she'll get alimony. I had no idea how that works. She does. Claire says Kyle does a lot of Amazon lives. I wonder how much they pay Kyle. Well, I don't think Amazon pays her. She sells stuff and it gets people. She says, oh, look at this hat I'm wearing. Look at this outfit. And she's got things in her Amazon closet or whatever they want to call it. Whatever that stuff is, like her and Lala have, and where they sell all the stuff and then they get a percentage of it. I mean, it's not giving her $1 million a year, for one thing. Southern Belle says, Lisa, stop leaving us. I know she keeps popping over to TikTok, right? And tapping the screen. Oh, thank y'all for tapping the screen over there. There's almost 6,000 likes on TikTok. I appreciate it. Keep tapping. I appreciate it. Okay. So which one was more awkward to you? The Kyle and Mauricio coffee talk, where they are both trying to not bring up the fact that he just went on a vacation and, was filmed or video recorded really with this girl like hugging, making out. She makes it very clear. Yeah, I don't think you knew about this, but I think the other girl did. And he didn't really say anything. We already knew he's since moved on from that girl and has, another girl or more girls, whatever. So I don't know. I would be upset if I were him, if I didn't want that information out there. And I definitely didn't want my 4 daughters hurt. And I definitely didn't want my estranged wife hurt. I would be upset if I was dating someone, going to Greece, whatever, and they arranged the paparazzi. That would be the end of the trust of that relationship for sure. Dee says, unless she signed that she doesn't have rights to the agency, she will get half of his share. I'm sure he doesn't want to give up the money. I mean, yeah, who knows? I haven't heard anything about where would they be getting money from, though. I mean, she doesn't, what's the name of her company? It was like Beach Body, Beach Wear or whatever. I mean, a bunch of bathing suits. Southern Belle says, by the way, does anyone know if Parit's home is in foreclosure? I haven't heard anything lately. Jeff kind of talked about it today, but we don't know. Yeah, I've watched them both since the beginning. And I think Mauricio, you know who Mauricio looked like to me last night? Oh, I almost hate to say this. Although I do think Rick Leventhal is a handsome man. I will give him that. And I've always said he's nicer than Kelly. So there's that. Mauricio, in a certain way last night, I was trying to I was watching this morning. Sorry. I watched part last night. I was finishing up today. And I was like, I don't know. He just doesn't look as handsome to me. I don't know. Maybe his sex appeal is gone. Maybe the kissing 30-year-olds is just not doing it for me. And then all of a sudden, he reminded me of Rick Leventhal. Does anyone see that? And it's a compliment. I mean, I think Rick Leventhal is a handsome person. It was just odd that all of a sudden I'm like, besides being both Jewish, I'm like, what is Mauricio and Rick Leventhal have anything to do with each other? You know what I mean? Does he? Michael says, but Rick looks like a drunk day to day. I don't know why y'all say that. Is he? Oh, true. Tambu says, I think Beverly Beach, and where's her accent from? Vermont or wherever. I think Beverly Beach is dead. Otherwise, she would be blubbering about it. She would have to be, but just like Crystal, they said they filmed a lot of her working and doing the coconut water and all that stuff. They never used it. So she never got her stuff promoted. We hardly ever knew. I think a lot of us learned of Crystal's coconut water business once she started coming on Jeff Lewis Live. Like, we didn't know any of that. You know what I mean? I agree. Sarah says we call those men silver foxes. I mean, I'm not opposed to that for sure. Oh, he does. Is it the red nose? I think he has a red nose sometimes, and that's a sign of sometimes a drinker. I'm not sure. Shoes and Makeup Girl says Rick does look like a heavy drinker. Just sometimes I see a red nose, and I wonder if that's the sign sometime. So what are the facial features of an alcoholic? Krista says Rick does have the facial features of an alcoholic. Wow. Oh, Cecile never felt that Mauricio was attractive? I think it's his personality. He always used to dote on his daughters. He was always so, just well-dressed and debonair, it seemed like. I don't know. It just seemed, yeah. Oh, his face is bloated, Mike O'Reilly says. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Alcohol apparently bloats you. Okay. Speaking of marriages, Avi. Can someone clear this up? I thought I researched this a few weeks ago, and he's actually married to a woman. This is the assistant. Don't forget, he first was shown on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as Sutton's photographer, like at her house. And we're like, this girl has her own photographer? Like, wait, what? Well, now we see him. I've met him at her Sutton boutique a couple of years ago. He was working it and was really nice, chatty and everything. But I guess he is her, whatever's more than executive assistant, whatever you want to call it, more than her right-hand man, right? Not exactly business partner, but definitely keeps her in line, goes and buys her tampons if she's still using tampons, like, women of a certain age might use. But when they showed him all giddy and just jumping around, like getting her ready for the St. Lucia trip, I'm like, God bless you, Avi, but I just don't see you as being married to a woman. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you. Joetta says, Sarah, your face is looking thinner. So pretty. Yay. It's got to feel good. I don't. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing weight. I will weigh myself tomorrow. Tomorrow is 2 months exactly since I started on the weight loss medication, January 13th. So I will see. I started off at 205 pounds. So I definitely have not been a quick loser, but that's always better for your skin and a healthier, more natural way to lose weight. So I don't even know that he's metro. I mean, I think he's full on into boys. Very feminine. Southern Belle Cell says, Avi is probably metrosexual. I mean, just. Heather says, well, Sarah, that was not Avi. That wasn't Avi? Yes, it was. The one I'm talking about is for sure. For sure. Wait, we're describing you. Oh, a red face? Sarah says, y'all are describing me, but I've just had a hard life. I'm not coming on live now without a bag over my head. Oh my gosh. No, I think there is something about some alcoholics that do have redness to their face and neck. I'd always heard. Okay, so they all got ready. They're going to St. Lucia, this girls' trip. Huge welcome. I mean, over the top welcome. Now, I don't remember. We took a cruise on our wedding honeymoon almost 25 years ago. We flew to Puerto Rico, and then from there we got to hit all these islands. I think I'm positive St. Lucia was one of them, and we've wanted to go back, but it's very difficult to get there on its own. Like, I thought it was like a 24-hour trip. So they came from California. We at least flew out of Houston all those years ago. So I don't even know. They didn't act like it took a long time, but I think St. Lucia is very hard to get to. You know what I mean? Hit the like button, please. Just X out, go hit the thumbs up, and then come right back in. I would really appreciate it. Also, when you come on tomorrow or the next time, if you can just hit the thumbs up button on YouTube before you even get into the comments, then it will already have happened. I would really appreciate it. Jordy says, given Rick and Kelly's drinking, his possessiveness, and her flirty ways, their marriage won't last long term. Wow. That's true. Thank you. Debbie says, yes, you look great, Sarah. You're losing weight and I'm gaining it. I've been bad lately. Too much cake. I know, but let's get out of the mentality. Trust me, before this medicine, I very much had the I ate bad, I ate good, I did bad mentality. Let's all try to get out of that mentality because we're all doing the best that we can. And food is so good. It's so easy. And some, just like other issues, shopping, alcohol, drugs, any smoking, any other addictive personalities, everyone has struggles with some and not others. So not everybody struggles with food. And they're like, well, just stop eating as they're smoking a cigarette. I'm like, well, then just stop smoking. You know what I mean? So everyone has their thing. For me, it was eating. And now, after I watched that Oprah Winfrey special, I tell you, it will change your life. It will change your thought process on all this. And it will take away the guilt. Because if you do have food noise and think about food all the time and have a food issue, you will realize not everyone does. So don't beat yourself up thinking, oh, I just don't have the willpower. When someone tells you, well, just don't eat that, or just eat this. Just eat this. It's better. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah. Wait, what? Lisa says, I'm planning on coming on live soon. Stay tuned. I'm going to surprise you all. Coming on soon. Beware. Girlfriend, how exciting. Yes, Sarah, you are not bad, nor is cake. It's about balance. And cake sounds so good right now, I must say. Anyways, I love cake. So I love cake. I love ice cream. Oh, I love that. Heather says, I have a weird sickness for cheap cake. I saw that multicolored Cake Boss cake at Walmart today and ran like hell. What's a cake? Like the Cake Boss, like the brand? They have something at Walmart? Okay, now I'm curious. Okay, y'all are making me want. Oh, okay. Southern Belle says if you fly out of South Florida, go out of Fort Lauderdale instead of Miami. It's so much better. Well, they went out of Miami, clearly. I just always heard it was like a 24-hour flight. Like there's no direct flights to St. Lucia. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to have a great time. But of course they show next week or in the next day, the fighting and everyone coming at Sutton on that boat. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be, they've already shown that, Bose is hosting this trip. So she already told Dorit and Erica, oh, we're all going to be together and all these other people are going to be together. Of course, Kathy is on it. So, Kyle Richards' sister, is there. So they're going to be together. It was just weird, right? Okay, watch what happens live, and then we're going to get into Jeff Lewis live. Dorit was on with Dylan Efron and Gabby, 2 of the 4 that won on the Traders. It was kind of hard to have 3 of them on. They did it, but usually it's just 2 people on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. Dylan and Gabby were kind of together because a lot of their questions were about Traders, obviously. I didn't know who Gabby is. I know she's a lesbian now and just married her wife, who I think one of them was from The Bachelor, Bachelorette, whatever, but that's all I know is she was kind of teasing them. Somebody did ask on there, asked Dorit about the Jeff Lewis thing that Tracy Tudor said. She basically explained it and said, look, I had just used Chris Dylan X for a Watch What Happens Live. I agreed to pay his hotel. Oh, wait, I'm getting the story mixed up from them. She said, he billed me for a hotel that I'd already paid the bill on. So it got kicked back from the office and he had to re-give me the invoice. And I'm like, honey, there's no office. But it also, like MJ said, it was very different. Tracy, to me, implied that she had this long history of a bill that she had not been paying Chris Dylan X. Apparently, she hadn't used him in like 8 years, so a very long time ago. And it was this one Watch What Happens Live time where Jeff updated us on what that story ended up being. So on the second hour, Jeff explains that Tracy called him last night, gave him some gossip, the update, because she was livid about Dorit. They clearly don't like each other. And Tracy said that Dorit had agreed to pay for Chris Dylan X's hotel in New York City, gave her his credit card, gave him her credit card, and it was declined. So he had to put out his credit card. And that's the reason he was trying to get. But if she didn't know, if he never reached out to her and said, hey, your card was declined, or her office never told him, then, she wouldn't even know that. But who is Gabby? Oh, is she famous from The Bachelor? Okay, Jen Helen says Gabby was from The Bachelor and was on Dancing with the Stars. So she must have been really big on The Bachelor to be on Dancing with the Stars. Like she must have been one of the standouts, right? Sarah says, I think Kelly Dodd is proof that true beauty comes from the inside. Okay. Aldi. Does Aldi have a bakery? Lisa says, I want to buy a whole carrot cake. That's not my favorite cake. I like the icing from it, but I think carrots belong with hummus or vegetables. I love dipping carrot chips in hummus. I don't think they deserve in a cake. Like that's weird to me, but I don't know where to buy one around here. So I have to go to McAllister's for $7 and get a slice. Dang it. I want the whole cake. $7 for a piece of cake. Anyways, yes. Kylo says, I love that Tracy blabbed about Dorit. I mean, me too. Yes. Dee says St. Lucia's in the Caribbean. Yeah. It's really beautiful water. Really beautiful. Okay. On Jeff Lewis Live today was Carney Wilson, Joey McIntyre for the very first time. Of course, they didn't even introduce him. But then Carney Carney lets us know that apparently she posted the other day and was talking about a different boy band. She didn't even say New Kids on the Block. Like, she totally had them all mixed up. It was kind of weird. Jeff did talk about him and Gage. They were fighting over text last night, something about summer camp again. So apparently there's a 6-week summer camp, but it would be at Monroe's current school, which is not close. Gage, for some reason, wants her to go to a school camp that is in the neighborhood, so way more convenient. But Jeff has always offered, look, I will have my people drive her on the weeks that you have her. Like Monroe, he said that Monroe is shy and she wants to go to summer school, but she wants to do it where all of her friends are going to be, not this school where she doesn't go. But in another instance, she does, both her dads live in Hancock Park, or once Jeff moves, they will both live there. It'd give her an opportunity to meet some kids at her school, that live in the neighborhood at least. But, if she's shy, that's not going to do her any good if she doesn't have any fun, right? I don't know. Michael Riley says 6 weeks is too long for summer camp. Well, I think it's day camp. Like, they go and come back and what have you. But, it's probably, if I had to guess, 9 to 3. I have no idea. I don't know how. I never did summer camps like that. But yeah. Oh, now y'all got me thinking of cream cheese icing, Debbie. This cream cheese icing is the best. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't think so, but do we ever know? Kylo says, are MJ and Tommy splitting up? I always feel like they're on the verge of divorce. So they did talk about, remember they filmed recently, or Jeff did the podcast of this Heel and Feel, or whatever the podcast is called, with his friend and MJ, and Scary Sherry read MJ and gave her some not so good news. Jeff let us know, but she let us know one of the things is about a man is going to disappoint you and put you in a really bad position financially, but it's not your dad, who her dad has passed away, and it's not her husband. So I don't know. And she's like, well, I don't have any upcoming investments, so I don't really know who they could be thinking of. You know what I mean? Yeah. I never see carrot mix on the pantry, like on the bakery aisle. Can you make your own carrot cake from home? I mean, Costco is so good. I love cake. Now y'all got me thinking about cake. Dorit says, I think Jeff just loves Monroe to have a structured schedule. In summer, he knows she becomes evil. I don't know about evil with too much downtime. Maybe bored. And also, if her school is far away, her friends might live everywhere. And at 8, it's kind of nice to just like go outside and have your nanny walk you down the street 3 houses to go play with your friends. They really can't have that. You know what I mean? Who knows? She keeps joking about it. Let's talk about MJ in a second. Sarah says, what are all these personal issues that MJ is going through? Jeff kept saying it last week, and she said that too. Like, what? Yeah, he basically said, that's why I'm excusing her, because I know she's going through a bunch of personal issues that no one else knows about and that I do. I think she needs activities, period. I don't really know. He either doesn't tell us or she's not doing much. She doesn't talk about much of what fills up Monroe's time when she's not in school, right? Except for play dates, which is always good. Okay, so, Joey's been married 22 years, to his wife. He's got 3 kids with her. He keeps joking. He's like, no, y'all get along. Like, y'all don't fight like this, right? Like, this would be terrible for your daughter, your 8-year-old daughter, and y'all are fighting like this. And Jeff's like, oh, no, it's true. And he's like, well, it's probably not going to help to be reading these texts online. He's like, oh yeah, that's probably true. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. They do bring up the girl flip thing. I do feel like it's a lot of posting. Somebody let me know one of the videos, the reels that she had made a week or so ago, like minutes into it, I had to watch like 2 minutes of it. And I was like, oh my God. And then Carney like starts farting and in the video. And so somebody let me know that. I was just like, maybe for contractors, they are becoming a little too close. Like, I get that you're getting a discount. I don't know if Carney needs a discount, but I love that everyone can appreciate a discount. It is definitely a lot of videoing. It seems to me a little odd. I almost believe Kian that, she is delaying the decision making of the slab for content, because 5 months seems a little, long to be deciding on slab. You know what I mean? Ugh, I'm with you. Southern Belle says, I've got to get off sugar. It's so addictive. It is. Sugar is so addictive for sure. And you get something low fat, then they've added sugar for taste, or they put the chemicals in, or it's fatty. I mean, no, I did not. Cecile said, did you watch Denise Richards' show last night? I didn't have time, but I also, with the gym and then dropping off and picking up at the rodeo, I will watch it, but I'll give it 1 or 2 more episodes. And if it doesn't get better, I think I'm dumping that show. I just don't have the time for it. Okay. So finally they realize that Joey McIntyre is a New Kids on the Block. So they explain him. His fans are called Blockheads. He does have a solo tour coming up in April that he was there to promote. And then New Kids on the Block is going to have a residency starting in June or July in Las Vegas. So you can get tickets there. This caller casually says, congrats, Joey, on your 1-year sobriety. And he said, oh, thank you. But that's all they talked about it. So I don't know that he didn't want to talk about it. Don't know what he's sober from. I don't know that this impacted. It has to. Anyone with any addiction has to impact their marriage, their parenting, their professional life, their personal life. But I mean, they've been touring for quite a while and regularly. So I don't know. The fact that he is sober is fantastic. He's always been the cutest to me, if you ask me. Okay. MJ, the second hour is MJ and Jamie Kennedy. I don't know. She was just joking. Jeff asked at one point is it true that MJ, you're selling ChumpCon tickets on your Poshmark? And she's like, yes, I'm selling them for $1. I mean, it was awkward. It was awkward that they're talking about ChumpCon when Jamie barely just got invited, and he really keeps coming at Jeff like, why was I number 18 to be invited, or whatever it was? Oh, he posted from alcohol. Thank you. Laura says he posted yesterday that he's 1 year sober from alcohol. That's awesome. And that could be, some people just choose not to drink. I don't know if he was an alcoholic or if he just is not drinking alcohol anymore. You know what I mean? It's like Kyle Richards, I don't think was an alcoholic, but she's sober from alcohol. She's choosing not to do that. You know what I mean? Yes. Tracy says, I'm so proud of Joey. 1 year of sobriety for sure. I mean, yeah, it was just awkward. The fact that she's not invited, she had this, weeks long feud. The fact that Jamie Kennedy is still whining about, just make it seem like I was invited. Or I'm like, what does it matter at some point? The fact that Jamie kept saying that his fans are buying up the gold package now, I would like to see proof of that. And they can easily figure that out, just like I could with my event. So with my event, I knew every time I asked how many tickets had been sold. So I knew that once I had other people posting, no other tickets sold. Like I had sold all the tickets in the beginning from my link, me promoting that event. So they can very easily look up, ever since Jamie was hired for ChumpCon, how many gold packages have been sold. I also don't think he realizes that platinum is actually the most expensive package. So he's talking about the gold package. Yeah. And I don't know that that's even true. Cecile says, I'm trying to be sober. Well, I don't know if you're struggling or not, or if you're just trying to give up alcohol, but I will have all the chumpettes behind you if you really are struggling and you're trying to do that for sure. Oh, maybe so. Didn't she have hormones fixed? Did you see how tiny Erica Jane's legs were when she was packing for St. Lucia? I mean, she looks like an 11-year-old girl. Southern Belle Cell says Kyle's on the skinny shots. That has taken away her taste for alcohol, in my opinion. Probably. I think so too. It's awkward, right? Nick James says Jamie is going to lose his good graces with Jeff if he keeps it up. I just thought it was awkward. It makes Jeff feel bad. And it's like, look, at the end of the day, they're really doing their research on numbers and who the fans are going to buy tickets from. I mean, I thought it was very ballsy of Jamie to act like, look, this is what I do. I sell tickets just alone. Okay, you sell $80 to $300 tickets, I'm guessing, on what his tickets cost. You don't sell $2,000 to $3,700 event tickets for the whole weekend. You know what I mean? Bev says, I wonder if Jeff lets Monroe have friends over for sleepovers. I don't think he ever has. I don't think he ever wants sleepovers. He's so picky about everything. I don't see him having a warm home. I think it's gotten more of a warm home. I was trying to read something else. Bonnie says, you guys, I know a lot of people like her, but Mercedes' voice, her voice and cadence and her stupid questions when people are talking is just so annoying. I can't stand her. And then what was up with the whole Skechers thing? She was totally trying to dog on Skechers and make fun of Shane and Jeff for wearing them this past weekend. And then they must have given her the look like, hello, like they're a sponsor. And she was like, oh, I mean, she didn't even take a beat. And she was like, oh, I love them. They're great shoes. Did I hear that wrong? Or is that how it was going down? You know what I mean? Y'all, I've never had anything delivered. Oh, Lisa says, I've never had anything delivered. I don't have any of the apps. Oh, like DoorDash and stuff, you mean? Yeah, I mean, if you cannot do sleepovers, I kind of agree. And I don't think he and Gage, although technically they have their own decisions to make while she's at their own time. I feel like if I were co-parenting, I would want us to be in agreement on a few things. And I think either being pro sleepover or anti sleepover, I would want us to be in agreement on, no matter if she's at my house or at your house. But I haven't dealt with co-parenting. Dorit says, I think it's way too much liability for Jeff to let Monroe have sleepovers. Too many prying eyes and flipping out waiting to happen. I mean, that would be every celebrity though, right? I think every celebrity has birthday parties and, family over and vacations and you know what I mean? Oh, they're telling you to order a cake from Publix and have it delivered. Well, just go pick it up. I don't understand getting stuff delivered either. I just would like to, I don't want to know that they dropped it on the ground and picked it up and I'm not going to pay their fees to be delivered to me. Yeah, that's the way you heard it, right, Nursim? So weird. It was like instantly she was changing her mind. And I'm like, quit kissing up. So basically MJ was alluding to something, or Jeff was alluding that Scary Sherry is alluding to something bad coming up for MJ, but she definitely wasn't going to say. And she definitely said, she excused Tommy because she said, it's not my husband. But then she said something about someone's going to leave her in a bad situation. Also, she was, for some reason, talking about USC and saying something about her friend said it's $88,000 a year for just tuition. And of course, I went and looked it up and it says last year, 2024 to 2025, you can look up this information. It was $69,000. So, she's about $19,000 off. I also think a lot of their students are finding cheaper than a $2,500 a month, bedroom to rent. But, she's not far off. I mean, yes, USC is very expensive. I think she was just talking to Jeff about, look, college is very expensive. And if we want any of our kids to go to these places, I don't think she and Reza are near as close as we once thought. Remember when he said yesterday, I've got a best friend from high school that's a girl that I'm very good friends with, even closer than MJ, but she's never wanted to be on TV or the radio. So I don't feel like him and MJ are all that close, especially the last few years. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. I have to sneeze and I can feel it. I know Nick says, I mean, she does do real estate deals with Jeff or has in the past. Yeah. So I don't know. Rebecca says, I'm a fan of Zach, but when he was on last, I noticed after he laughs, he does a weird high-pitched noise, and it was deafening listening on my headphones. Has anyone else noticed or just me? Oh, well, he definitely, I mean, he even talks. He and Jameson both get confused as a female when they're on the phone with somebody because of their voices. So I feel like that's just him. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Sarah said the last episode I heard Reza was saying something about MJ being rude at a dinner party and Jeff told them to talk off air. And they did talk for 45 minutes and then they texted over the weekend. We talked about that, I think, yesterday. I'm not sure. I don't know. Jeff definitely says that Gage is going to file a complaint with the FCC for Monroe being on the radio on Friday. I didn't get to hear it because I delayed it. And by the time they put it up again and I listened to it, they had already taken that part out. But I agree. Again, if I'm co-parenting with someone, I want to decide and be in agreement on a few things. And one of those is going to be whether or not she should be on radio live or whatever. I don't know that he has any legal. I don't know what their rule is. Maybe they would have to have something legally written down. I have no idea. Obviously, it gets a little trickier when you have celebrity parents or people on radio, TV, what have you. You know what I mean? Bravo and Stone says, whatever, Reza really turned my stomach with the way he spoke to MJ. I think he's just over her. And I can understand because to me, I mean, clearly there's MJ fans. I feel like she feels very entitled. I feel like she feels like she's closer to the Jeff than she is, and she's overstepped a little bit of boundaries. And I think a lot of the Poshmark stuff was weird. I didn't think her excuse today was like, oh, well, I used to have an assistant she's got like 1,000 things on Poshmark. That is not like a tiny account. I mean, it's a lot to keep up with. I can't even imagine. The pictures, the descriptions, the price, it's no small feat. So I don't know. It just never made sense. She just kind of jokes everything away and doesn't really talk about it. He did update us again, things they were talking about, TrumpCon, which was awkward because I'm sure MJ's like, oh, I would really like to be there. Ryan Bailey's going to be the moderator of the 2-hour Jeff Lewis live that's going to be. So he did say there's like 21 people now, including Michael Beck and Jeff, and 4 people at a time are going to rotate. They're going to be on the front of the stage, kind of on the limelight to be asked questions from the audience. And then it'll be Jeff and the moderator, Ryan Bailey. Then however long those people will rotate. And then the next 4 chumps. So Jamie is going to be, oh gosh, it was Jamie, Carney, Sarah Colonna. Who was the other one? Do y'all remember? Debbie says, I don't like MJ. She's a liar. I don't like a liar. Yes, there's only 97 likes so far. There's over 225 people on here. So please take a second to hit the like button either after you get off or on. I would appreciate it. Ooh, Michael Riley. I put a ton of stuff on Poshmark, all designer clothes. It's a pain in the ass, but I tell my son he can keep half the money. Nice. What's your Poshmark? Well, I'll go buy your clothes. I don't want any guys' clothes, but yeah. Her or Merhades is what they were joking called. I think Jamie called her that first, Merhades, which he loves her. Jen Hella says Merhades hurt Reza a lot, according to Reza, and never apologized. I'd be over her too. Yup. Robin says, I think Gage hates Jeff so much. He clearly doesn't have Monroe's best interest. Well, again, I think Dr. Phil is the one that says this. They hate each other more than they seem to love Monroe. And that in and of that is a huge problem. Maybe not both of them, but there's a lot of hate between them both for sure. Well, that is all I have. If y'all have anything, if you want to put it in comments, if not, we're going to wrap it up. We will see you again tomorrow. Yeah, I think they charge a lot of fee to do all that. They hate each other. Krista says they hate each other more than they love the child. Which, I mean, she's 8. I mean, practically 8.5 almost. She's only going to get more tuned into all this. And even though I do think it helps with them not really having a trade-off anymore, that they trade off by picking up and dropping off at school. So they've eliminated that communication. There's still a lot they have to fight about. I mean, birthday parties, what car to buy her, when she can get her license. What if she does something, any kid can get in trouble. What if, what's the punishment going to be? Does the punishment continue when they get to the other parent's house? Is she going to go to in-state college, away to college? I mean, they have a lot of decisions to make together. Lisa says, I sure wish my daughter would do it for me, but she's very adamant about not doing it. Yeah. Chris says, Precious Monroe already sees and knows way more than they realize. Well, and sadly, I wonder what her friends have told her. Like, your dad hates your dad. I mean, I don't know what kids know at this point. You know what I mean? Sarah says, can we organize for chumpettes that go to ChumpCon to come on and report back to us all? Yeah, let's just say they are welcome to post whatever they choose to post in a Facebook group. I'm not going to encourage anything more or host anything like, a live or anything with people, because I feel like Jeff is very adamant that he wants people to have that experience to stay there. So I, as a fan account, am not going to host something with all of that information. Does that make sense? Out of respect for people having fun and not letting all that information out that he may not want out. Does that make sense? Oh, have fun. Whooper says, heading to the airport to pick my cousin up from San Diego. Have a great day. Glad I caught a live, Sarah. Glad you did too. Yeah, but if anyone wants to report or post or whatever, clearly I am not the only one that ever video recorded anything. But I got asked to take it down. So I get that. I mean, literally the 1,000 viewers that look at my videos, like it's not that much. Anyways, okay, well, we are going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining. Please make sure to tap the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for tapping the screen over on TikTok. There's over 6,000 likes. That was probably all Lisa in Kentucky. So shout out Lisa in Kentucky. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for joining live. It is way more fun. If you have not gotten comfortable in comments, make sure you do it. It is such a great way to get to know each other, share our thoughts, share our opinions. Also, make sure to join the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, because that's obviously a really good way to get to know each other too. Oh, they did? Robin says, I literally got in trouble last time I videoed. They got mad. Like they said something to you at the live event. Wow. Okay, I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, chumpettes.